What is a question you wish more companies asked you before they even went about hiring a process? Is there any like questions that people just tend to skip over that you wish they would consider first before going and hiring a role, US based or not?
Answer quickly this one. One thing that I think people mistake how much they need in the early days. I think if you have a really good idea of what you're building and the product roadmap, like you can get away with hiring an IC, an individual contributor, and making it happen. A lot of times, especially non-technical founders, they come to us and they say, I need a CTO first. They're like, I need a CTO first before I can build my team, before I can build my product. And I don't think that's always right. Because if you are a founder and you're non-technical, but you have a very clear vision of what you want it to do, you probably need a product manager before. Just work with a product, hire a product manager that can help you build out do the discovery, do the system design, do the functional design, and then have the team build it. But I think too often they hang their like waiting to start on this idea that I need a technical co-founder. Now they might need a technical co-founder, but a lot of times when we're talking to people in the early days, like their vision is very clear and their desire is very clear. And so like now it's just time to execute. And so it's not so much a question that they should ask, but it's an excuse that they're giving themselves so they don't just get started.
Along those lines, sometimes we get, I'll talk to somebody who has this great idea for deploying AI within their organization. Let's say a good example is a lawyer that I spoke to recently who excels in Mexican immigration law. So he helps expats from all over the world become or purchase properties in Mexico, become residents or citizens, and so on. And he's got a very unique take on how to navigate Mexican immigration law and wanted something like a chat bot or a chat GPT to do it. And along those same lines that Jacqueline just brought up, although his vision was less clear, all he could express was, I want a chat bot that kind of replicates my answers and my interpretations of these laws for customers to help them. And I'm going to need to hire like a CTO and an engineering team to help me build out all these things. And believe me, like we're happy to staff a CTO and engineers for this team, but that's not really the way to go about this. So even though it doesn't really help Howdy, what we want to do is help people. And what I had to push back on is along the lines of what Jacqueline was saying is, before we get you a technical co-founder and a CTO, why don't we sit down with ChatGPT or whatever tool and actually feed it some of your interpretations? Here are the laws. Here's my interpretation. Let's give it some examples. Let's give it some use cases. And then let's write, as an exercise, let's write a system prompt that will help somebody with this, with just using ChatGPT for $20 a month, right? Why don't we start there and go through that exercise? And so I wish, I wish people were a little less scared of the technical aspect, I suppose. Some of this stuff with a little bit of thought and a little bit of strategy is actually very accessible to especially somebody like a lawyer who's good at logical thinking and getting to the heart of a matter. So that's I'd love for people to feel more empowered that way. Sometimes it hurts me to see that the stuff that we're talking about here, just one person away next to me, it might be a complete intimidating black box for them that they feel like they need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to access, and that couldn't be further from the truth.